Are 1,000 streams of cultural consciousness bound together by a many-tiered wit, weaving in and out of existential traffic. Tim Roberts' book Drizzle Pocket will be out from BlazeVox this spring, and he's the publisher with Julie Carr of Counterpath Press, and he lives in Denver. Please welcome Tim.
Why, thank you. That's extraordinary. That will be on the back of the book when it's published. Thanks everybody for showing up. This is fun and great. And this is also for Matthias. I want to start with a poem that is in honor of the recent events of the past week, and whatever they may be for you is just plug it in. You don't understand the other things, and neither do I. They're around here somewhere. Maturity is one of them. You can't buy love, another. What is it about your back that wants to break? Well, now the light seems to have sold out of truth. Now you are more solidly on the right-hand side. We make it real, we make it work. We make it straightforward as we see it emerge. It is identical to its risk. That's when? Yes. That's how it ends, at peace. And this next is pretty much a straight shot to the end of my reading. I wouldn't know what you were doing. I wouldn't be able to take those tests with Rue. Then it would start all over. These were different walls. These were white, moving inward, windowed, chimney, folding, vertical. We communicated across the folds, every test pointing to now. On board ship, they collaborated. They shared what had come up the night before. The circumstantial lamplight, take out your wallet, take out a 10x3. Then, as if you were complete in the allotted space, the partial room with those other people hiding somewhere, isn't every word precise? The offerings wilted like consequences of the past. The world hits with a face blowing its rhyme, soil against a blue sea. If what you've seen is like what we already have, then keep doing it, no matter what the water looks like. If what you said is like a bullet piercing through, then we'll dig until our eyes glint. Metal sheen is thrown around my upper home, the things that have to happen now. Like seasonal green that drowns a living tree, like elephants pressed against a retaining wall, their notions are but three. I'm sorry about the poorest shards, which at night barely number 3. They don't escape us or remark us unless we test them, and we see on the north side snowing, on the south side melting. I'm not sure we included thee. Strings to earth, constant description attaching, in a box, nothing to do, until we notice an amount from out there, which becomes a story of later days on the front porch, no longer in a hurry, not caring whether the world sang or succumbed. Our formal attire, this pustule or your own body, give thanks, this rest of the body, for safety. Let's sing about it, the rest of the body, the rest of the body. If I were counting these within variant degrees of space, there would be different measures, depending on the primeval, depending on a sheet of something firm that finally became spiral, and therefore that unvarying song, which is simply a way to shift outward the face of disease. Now, here's what's contained in nothing, bright neighborhood, no one very long said to be laying low, and if I were, asking you, that is, asking you by the fact of what I am. Still he has nothing to do, still my interlocutor reaches out. What does a feeling person make? The sun will be a soul again, one soul. The sun will have its components justified. It will have land in the same fractions as labor. Happy then, like a wassail or a shimmer, looking then over the countless nothing doorways. Having forgotten touch, labor returns. It downplays and belittles its ostensible pattern. It says, not this way comes anything. How old do you have to be? Since I have been asking that question, the spoil spot has grown. You would not be able to fathom a mountain. You would run into trouble from day one. You would freeze even against the face of your father or her father running naked until this year. Seasons have shed your life for you, the very service we've come to rely on. Interesting maturations happened in those decades, but now it's up to us to look squarely into the whirlpool naturally occurring. Ah, the banging. Why wouldn't it make sense at any other time? Only in New York. only with multi-tiered arpeggios wrapped snugly around its iron head. When we are old, charity is outside of us, tension is disturbed. In Hollywood, the composers have their own lounge, where they sit shouldered by a crowd, despairing of their wives. If right comes from such capable hands, it must be a great craft to extinguish it. The rating's gone, the nude escapes, pool parties where generations get inflamed. When it's my time, I hope my egos will flash upward. I hope my fish holes will be stockinged with fashioned constraint. It was impossible to know the full count of ballets or mistakes. Don't give me money, it will only drag me down. Here, let me impart what my mother imparted to me. Make sense of things. Make the golden shaft rushing overland toward your soft center into the payoff, not the pay down. Like a symphony we gather every year, chanting. What light would you make if there was light? What face would be in front of you if you had any face at all? I forget who the patron was, surely a member of the tribe, surely a dancer nearby. I forget what shapes were left unsaid, but at night we weren't supposed to speak shapes anyway, to break from those requirements, even if you could stay with one poem, invisibly counting a continuous song, just right against an oracular opening, oval lung. I wrap my shoes around a safe reply. I am nowhere to be found. I have fled the relationship. I am nowhere in this round hall or this restaurant bar. I have a wardrobe. There are mixed results. There are mixed greens, jack cheese, what's around me, music creeping from our pores, each layer infiltrated one atop another, for such tide as self is made of. My whole eye is a tread the earth makes. My, hey, wait, now we're being told. Now we're locked in embrace. 3-year facial. Why so much awesome sadness? If you don't have a vision, there are ways around that. If you're in a cubicle, we can help you. We can get you to where you won't need a great body of unified ways of looking. It was the moment when a neutral body arose. Translating nothing was disgusting. Everyone was the same height. Each labored jonquil was a jerry curl. Each sequence looked the same, but only today, with its porches and platforms of the tongue. To adjust to the new wave, were the tiny bodies too old for that? Were they fortunate to succeed? What else would happen before the whole disconnected communicative apparatus shrunk to a pea? That frozen afternoon, voices connected across questionnaires, backward comprehension of birth tension. Make no remark about my intelligence, as if it were a poem, as if it knew what to say or what it was about. My heat arises from other sources talked about. The long conversation with my father, the delectation of waking up one morning, perhaps alone, perhaps against a wall. Intelligence placed before a feeling came, emboldened to watch the body dream. Nothing grows around the body except this. We have special gloves. We hear special notes. We cable to the spheres what won't fit in a message we could cable, if only to repeat it. 3 women walk contemplatively along an empty road near a warehouse early morning. They thought of no poem. I moved along. I believed something else entirely. Since what I am, heat, urgency, far away, what did they think? Would the world be going to hell? What forest would you yourself provide? How many angels look for you across the room? The orgasm is a way to recover from the walking we have done. I serenade like the jostle of machinery. I resemble the heavenly matrix, which is etched across a dome. In the place outside of here, the violent animals roam. Is that where we should go? First voices, gravelly, experienced, must be heard. First the world's intelligence takes hold, and there's no question of my interference. First a wave of being every day. First to know what you know, to know what you do not know. How was it that clean when you were thrown out of your house? Who else is in the room with you? Nothing genuine, legs, feet in place to withstand the precise attacking. We'll always grieve our round numbers together. Think of it. Think of what time allows. Particles, even now, settling sideways into the hush. I don't know what communication is.